Hello. I'm looking, wave at me. Um, I've got a little book here, and the first 1 minute I've said, settle, settle. Look at people, breathe. It's okay. You're okay. I'm okay. They're okay. Let them see you. Be here. Be where I am. Be who I am. And that is my invitation to you too. To just take 5 seconds. One of the things that I still, of course, still learning. All of this is still, isn't it? All of this is unfolding. What I remind myself of is this isn't a presentation. It's a moment of connection. And it happens to be that I'm kind of speaking more of the words, but the meaning and the landing is in that. That's the gift of shares. I experience anyway. It's for me, I have many many moments where I'm connecting, things are landing or not, or not. And all of it is okay, because that's all there is. That's what this invitation is. So whilst there certainly were disclaimers, wanted to set the scene of what I won't do and what I blah, 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 blah. So who am I? God knows. There'd be the truth. So I'm Amanda, and I'm 62, coming up to 63. I think I did this thing recently, and these I don't know, anyway, these words came through. I'm feeling embarrassed, so but I'm going to kind of tell you. And I was making a drum basically, and the words warm-hearted wanderer came through, and I thought, before I could kind of have a niggle at it, I thought, yeah, that's me. And it is. But I've not always felt totally connected with that, and I don't always now. So I'm Amanda. I am a compulsive eater. It's not all of me, but it is absolutely a part of me. I'm Amanda, who has a pull to be a fixer. In some areas, over-responsible. In many other areas, under-responsible. And that changes at different times. I'm Amanda, who grew up and still connects at times with this as a confused, disconnected, lost, feelings of aloneness. Amanda, who grew up seeking and searching to meet these holes that I experience, these gaps, I suppose.
5 minutes.
I'm retired now, so I can say was, but a nurse, a teacher, um, a researcher. Essentially, I was a developer, because what I was very good at was being in chaos and where things were not properly sorted, where things were hard, where things were difficult, because that's what I'd grown up around. And that's, I think, where I spent a lot of my life and had a lot to contribute in that. But it wasn't free. It was not, there was costs to me. Today, I am unfolding into newer parts of me, newer places in me that understand, can hold, can be with some of these more painful parts. In relation to food, I would be surprised if there wasn't something that each of you has done, not done, played about with in relation to food. So for me, food became increasingly part of my story as I grew up. Initially, it started without any great noticing, because the people around me were using food as well, but big portions. Food was a thing in our house, apart from a mother who didn't eat very much. But I grew up in a very male, what I would call male, lots of boys, lots of bigness, lots of stuff around that. Bulimia is a big part of my journey with food for many years. And cycling, get a grip, diet, this, that, the other, always wanting to periods of elation because I'd got a handle on it until I didn't. So that's a little bit of the backstory. There's more detail. There's far more detail that actually part of my journey of recovery has been kind of getting to really look more closely of that and sit with that and be with that and be with that with others and be with that with love and care and wisdom. And today, it's not an ended story by any stretch. But I do now recognize and have an experience of greater pockets of peace that is the precious gift of recovery. In terms of my relationship with OA, so I first heard of and came to OA it's coming up for 14 years ago. And it was another kind of portal, another step on my path that kind of came out of other pieces of personal development, searching, because essentially the real deep message for me was that I was the problem, I was broken, and I at its very heart, and I can say this now with, I can feel it in my body with such tenderness. I really believed that I was evil. It was the loathing, the criticism that was absolutely at the core. My relationship with program, I think I was waiting for somebody to say the time. You have a timer, don't you? So that's 4 minutes, isn't it? Left. Okay, right. I wanted to share about this notion of program and an OA and 12 step. And again, for me, it has been, and I think continues to be, a dynamic relationship. Some of those aspects feel incredibly abstract. You know, how do you kind of talk about this? You know, and I remember used to sit there saying, just tell me what you do. And I would say that my integration, if you like, my blending of through experiences, that some of it is absolutely beyond anything that I do. If I could just do the stuff, well, I've been doing the stuff for years. You know, I was unpacking some stuff recently, and I found these, you know, journals, diaries with maybe two things written in, you know, one in January, and then, March, I must get back to this writing thing, and then, you know, November, another little bit, and for years, these kind of things. So it's clearly, for me, it's not just the action, it's not just the tools. And I can't really, I know what my sense of it, but it's very difficult for me to communicate that to you. And it's not necessary, because what I think is helpful when I hear that from others is, you know, you go your own way. You go your own way. This is your journey. This is my journey. And there are practical and concrete things that that absolutely have and continue to bring things. So I kind of distill it, if you like, down to the essence, the ingredients in that are found in the big book, that are found in this text, in that text. On one level, for me, my experience over time, although it's not always felt like this, seems to be, it doesn't really matter. But the essence of what being able to really look at the place food has been, really able to share that in a place where other people may have a sense. These are the ingredients for me. I experience my program as a framework, if you like, a scaffold, anchors, things that I, over the years, have tried on, you know, not something to be got or understood. I used to say that all the time. I'm not just not getting it. Like there was an it. Okay, like there was an it. Just before I finish, I suppose timing is not one of my core strengths. Words and wisdom and skills, the gifts that are offered, the inventory. I would say one of my greatest things now is the pause, what I call the gracious gap, because that allows something else in. It allows the opportunity to disrupt what is kind of potentially happening, to discover. And I'm a fan of alliteration, so, and to discern. And those are the things that are, I think, at the core of my program now. And they are wraps in others, in trust, and in love and care. And that has been
That's time.
yeah. So there's this warm-hearted wanderer. Absolutely delighted to be here.